Hello everybody and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm And More Bus Videos, otherwise known as And More Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. And welcome to Gainsborough bus station, this time not in Gainsborough map itself, but in Lincolnshire. I've sort of deleted the previous map files. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit more basic going forward in videos. So I have just got the Lincolnshire map itself now, so I don't have the order variations. It'll hopefully make it easy for when I select maps and I don't get confused, and also make it easier to follow for those of you wanting to see the map and things like that. So the time in game once we switch our bus on is, once it wants to work and show us, is 17:42. It's not wanting to show us on there, as you can see, but the time is now 17:42, and we are going to drive. I've now got a coffee mug, but we are going to drive. Oh, I've got to open the flap. Going to have a go at the 2 service, the last one of the day, from here at Gainsborough bus station to the drive terminus, and then from the drive back into the bus station. On the Gainsborough map, instead of it just being one circular, they split it up into 2 sections of route. You don't get much time there, you literally just get a minute as a timing point, but it basically means you do have to wait at the timing point, and it also means that you don't get people getting on at the bus station, nobody else getting on in between, and them just riding round till you get back. So it does prevent that, and that is good, especially because this is the last run of the day. So if there is nobody on when we get to near the centre, we will be returning straight to the depot. So that, I'm going to presume that's the right one, Gainsborough Town Service. That was just luck. But we are driving KX51CSZ that was 47009, that I believe ended up being one of the last Optare solos of the KX51 batch in service with Stagecoach Cumbria, I believe it is, in the Carlisle fleet. I didn't get a chance to sample any of these in service with Stagecoach. I have been on at least one, I think I've been on more than that now, but at least one of these ex-Stagecoach ones, so one of the ones that Stagecoach sold sort of a few years ago when they started selling them off. And I have been on at least one of them. It was absolutely lovely. With a Tellison box, I thought it was the most appropriate vehicle batch to use. This one was the first one that came up as painted in the current Stagecoach livery, so I thought it was a win-win situation, minus the fact that this seat's an interior and what you'd expect, but it does sound as you'd expect. So we'll get all of our lights on. We will open the flap on the ticket machine. You've always got to remember to actually open the flap and then close the flap, otherwise it will not want to know who you are. 2, 3, there we go. Enter, there we go, that's excellent. Now I'm going to presume they want me because this is the last run of the day, so if they don't get on, I am going to manually change the blind. I'm hoping it doesn't make much difference to everything, but it might change the blind set. The blind might actually just stay as it is. I don't quite know. I'm going to have to wait for all of these people because, yes, I am the last bus of the day, so you can't be leaving people behind in the last bus of the day. So in-game, it is a Saturday, and the last bus is coming up at 5:45. So,
hello, mate.
Yeah, I don't think Gainsborough would be the place for me. Nobody can say we've left them behind, as we have left a minute late. So yes, this once again is the V3D and Digibus Mirage, otherwise known as the Optare Solo. I never actually used the Digibus Mirage branding on this. From the offset, I got everything branded up as Optare, and then thought, yeah, we can use it now. So we're sort of looking with this in a fictitious manner that Gainsborough Depot inherited some of the Cakes 51 solos just for the local service, potentially due to a vehicle shortage, as the fictitious storyline we're working towards on this. So that's kind of the storyline we're working with. I mean, potentially, if the vehicle shortage would have been that they currently got would have been about a year ago, this possibly would have happened when these were coming up for disposal. I believe they've still got 47002 is still in operation on the Isle of Arran, but I'm pretty certain that might now be the last of these Cakes 51s, if not one of a very, very small handful. So if it was about a year ago, it probably could have happened. 47009 could have potentially been coming up as for disposal. And just like the Dennis Trident ALX 400s that have gone over to Chesterfield have done, they might have sent this solo to Gainsborough to potentially cover on the Town 1 and 2 circular services. So you never know, it could have happened. It didn't, unfortunately, but it could have done. And instead they've got a vehicle shortage in the more current era, and the remedy for that was transferring now unrequired at Scunthorpe 21215. That's an FX05 Eclipse. I had the pleasure of going on quite recently, and it was an absolutely lovely model, lovely vehicle. So it did a very, very good job of the 99 service, very little rattles, very little issue. To say it was 2005 plated as well, it was sweet as a nut most. So it had a few issues changing gears. There was a few thumps from time to time, but a few thumps and a bit of gear slipping. But when you look at the vehicle, didn't mean to oversteer like that. When you look at the vehicle as a whole, it was very impressive for its age. So Gainsborough currently got that until the vehicle shortage is cured, because they kind of got rid of all of their Dennis starts en masse, and then got all of these other E200s and things from all over the place, and not all the E200s want to work at the moment, so as a result 21215 is assisting. They've got issues with the E200s and with the Dennis Tridents. So, as I say, the remedy for that at the moment is pretty much to just get the Eclipse over there. How long it's going to be at Gainsborough for, I don't know, but if you haven't already, I do recommend a trip on it if you can, because it is an absolutely lovely vehicle. Speaking of lovely vehicles, that's quite nice. You've seen quite a nice screenshot angle. You see, I don't have the zoom-in cameras on these that really bug me with the Digibus vehicles. All the rest of them have the zoom-in cameras, and these don't. If you see as well, just about, I've got the knack of the steering on these. So I think it's all about just turning a little bit sooner than you would in a conventional bus. With the front overhang, you'd turn a little bit later because your reactions will be a little bit delayed. Probably by half a second, but obviously it does make a difference on where your angle is on the road. I'm probably talking a load of rubbish to most of you, and there'll be a few of you who will understand what I'm on about, I hope. So it is a lovely bus. I mean, I've been driving it a fair bit on the West Country off camera. Using the vehicle I actually spawned in for the video. I've just sort of kept just saving the game and driving it on different runs. I mean, I drove it not yesterday or the day before on the 35 service, and did some late night Sunday running on the 35. There we go. Some late night Sunday running on the 35 because Sunday night you could get away with a minibus versus daytime. And then earlier today I did 2 spins on the 100 service. The passengers didn't particularly like my driving on the 100 service. I've had no complaints on this properly yet, but they don't seem to. The thing with the OMSI people is they don't seem to like small buses, and as a result, if you sort of go harshly around the corner, they don't tend to be fans. That is a lovely screenshot, actually. Yes, that will be thumbnail worthy. Bit of editing, but it'll be thumbnail worthy. So pretty much with this timing point that I believe is the next stop or the stop after, might be this next stop. I'm only going to have a minute or two sat here. You watch, there'll be people waiting. There'll be somebody waiting somewhere on the route. We'll get near the bus station and they'll be waiting. The plan at the moment is, if we don't have anybody on by the bit where you get to the end and turn left to the town centre or right to the bus depot, is I will just either turn right at the bus depot or turn left and then loop round town and out. Probably the initial one. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Is that the one that we're doing? Oh no, we're not actually at the terminus. I've kind of just assumed. I just assumed somebody got off and nothing's pinged upon my screen. So the bus isn't obviously as fast as like the Eclipses from the Vale and Pack, but what it lacks in sort of rapid drag strip acceleration, it makes up for you going round the corners in a nimble fashion, not having to slow down too much to go around corners. There we go, it's that bus stop. Excellent. Now, what are you coming up with? So you're to Gainsborough. Excellent. So 17:57. So we've got 2 minutes sat here, 1 minute and a half. And then it'll be go time, and then just see what happens. If we end up having to go to the bus station, we have to go to the bus station. If not, it'll be straight to the depot. That's kind of, when you do a run like this, last run of the day, it's kind of what you want to do, really. So we'll see how we go, but have a little bit of optimism, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. So, yeah, it's the interior. I mean, some vehicles in the Stagecoach operation did end up having this interior with the Stagecoach maquette. I don't know about the blue seat backs. Potentially the odd one had them. But it was predominantly what I refer to as bucket seats on the Stagecoach solos. Unfortunately, we don't have that specification on here. That is a shame. It would be quite nice to have seats as set vars, seeing as it is possible now. Other sort of vehicle creators have proven that it is possible to have the different seat set vars. So why this one doesn't have it, I don't know. It's a little bit disappointing. Same with the ticket machine as well. But again, I got it in a sale and it was 50% off, and it's time to go. And I like the Optare Solo for reasons that hopefully you'll all see very, very soon on the Ammo Central channel. So, yeah, that's basically the reckoning. I've just gone the wrong way, missed the turning. That's a really good start. That's because I was in my own world, kept going straight forward, I was busy having a chat. So once again, we have gone the wrong way with the Optare Solo. But at least it's not like the Veiling, for example, where I have to do all sorts to try and get it back on track. In fairness, we could have probably kept going down there and spun, because it did look like the roads were connected, but I'd rather not. It took us a couple of seconds to turn around. Yeah, this is because I don't have the route arrows on them. I took them off to take a screenshot and I haven't put them back on. That's why we ended up making the wrong turn. Oh, there's somebody waiting. This wasn't planned.
Hello.
Hello. They're probably going into town. Lovely. In places like this, the taxi firms must make an absolute ton of money. For people wanting to go to the pubs or going out for tea or seeing friends on an evening after work, I mean, the fact that your last bus is literally 6:15 locally and all the other stuff starts coming in from Scunthorpe and Lincoln at the same time. I mean, it would be taxi most of the time. And I don't even think there's any late night trains local to Gainsborough. I think there's the odd one. There's a singular late train from Sheffield, and I think that's about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there might be potentially the odd extra one, but there's definitely not many more than that.
Hello.
Confused the gearbox, then it didn't know whether to change up or change down, so you just heard the Allison being very confused. Yeah, I did make the error of turning the passenger levels up before I started driving.
Hi.
That is very much my own fault, and this is probably the busiest Gainsborough town bus I've ever brought in to Gainsborough. That is typical on the last run of the day. Usually you go around, you drop people off, and then you just run empty in, but not on this one. There we go, and straight into town. Now, it depends on where these want to jump off, depending on how far into the town centre I actually get. So it might slightly vary how far I get into the centre. But we'll see. Although, no matter, look, they'll all be wanting the bus station. I'm wanting the bus station, and then we will run dead to the depot. So yeah, that's why we would have turned right if we'd have had nobody on. In fairness, I think there is about 2 bus stops here, so I'd possibly, depending on things, I'd have possibly gone down to this other bus stop. I mean, there's never anybody waiting here, but it's one of those that even in real life, if you didn't serve it, that'd be the one time you'd get a phone call going, there's somebody waiting, and you've missed them. The bus has still allowed us to get around here in record time, and it didn't then want to change into the cab view again. I don't quite know why then, it had a little bit of an oops moment. Yep, one person wanting the bus station. Lovely. There we go. The first person on is the last one off. And you just see somebody jump on and you just know. You just know you're going to be going to all the way to the terminus. Where is he not in service? There we go. Excellent. Now why isn't that wanting to register? Oh, it's because it's doubly done, so we'll... Sometimes when it comes up with it twice, it doesn't always work. Now, I don't quite understand why this is a not in service run, yet apparently it's supposed to take a certain route to stop at bus stops. That I can guarantee now we're not stopping at. Although it's important to point out that it's not actually the last bus back into Gainsborough on this timetable. The last, I think there's... It looks like there might be 3 behind me that I think pretty much all come off the 100. Presumably the last one comes from Lincoln, I would imagine. But it's still an early finish for them all. I mean, if you live in Gainsborough, you're never going to be able to do a night out in Lincoln unless you stay over. You'd stop even though it is my right of way. Sometimes on mini roundabouts in OMSI, the cars do stop. And then other times like that, they just don't. It all depends on how it's been mapped up. So, it's always worth slowing right down for them just in case you get pummeled by a van or a taxi. Oh no, it's working. Is the route for not in service? I thought it was going to try and map it through the town centre. How wrong I was. Now I think they've got rid of the depot route on this, the 106. That, in fairness, I thought was a pretty decent evening run in. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a 106 back. I mean, possibly if I'd had nobody on and had to go into the town to do it, I possibly would have minded. However, if you're coming off a 100 or something and you're going to be dropping off in the centre, you can't shortcut it to the depot, then the 106 isn't too much of a bad route, to be fair. Yeah, this is the only issue with this, with the Optare. I mean, it's just like these in real life, where they're not the quickest of buses. Not the quickest, but they do the job. And it's a long run to the depot when you've got to go via the bus station. I love how that first arrow has to point left just so that people don't turn right on a roundabout. And there we go, into the bus garage. There we go, map off that. Oh, I've gone in the wrong way around, but as long as we can park up, that is the main thing that matters. So there we go. So that was the last two of the day, followed by a depot run. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. It's lovely to drive the Optare Solo at the moment. If you haven't already, do go and have a look on Steam, have a look at the bus, check it out for yourselves. I mean, with my videos, you can see what the crack is with it, see what's the good things, the bad things. So the pretty and the ugly as such. So have a little look on the vehicle. As I say, I bought it, and I'll be honest with this, I bought it during the Steam sale. That's what I agreed I'd do, either the Steam sale or an update to the vehicle, either or, and the Steam sale came first. So if you look at the pricing and you go, that's probably not for me, then put it on the wish list like I did and wait for a sale. There's always a Steam sale coming up, and it's now one of the products for OMSI 2 that gets knocked down by 30% each time. So it's worth sometimes hanging on just for that little bit of price reduction that just makes it more worthwhile. So if you have enjoyed this video, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of over 5,000 backseated engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's something on there for everyone, with additional 21 videos added to the archive each week, at least, sometimes more. Alongside the simulation section that at the moment occurs twice a week. There's plenty of old Allison gearboxed Optare Solos on there, so if you did like the sound of this bus, I want to hear it from real life and possibly in parts a little bit better, then do go and check out those archives. For now though, I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.